Hello, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Perfect Date. We don't really have anything else to do here today except romance, so let's just get right on with it. I'm still really sorry that I didn't go with McMurphy to the first date. Not sure if I like Snooty Booty here, but there's nothing we can do about it now, so... Hey Snooch, fancy seeing you here. Really? But this is my spot, human. I'm often to be found here. I let it go because I'm so excited about what I've brought. Pick a hand. I hold my fists out in front of Snooty Booty. Oh, a game! How merry! She stretches out her paw in the direction of my left hand. Ta-da! I open it to reveal a piece of core stone that I cut up in the lab. Oh, what a lovely rock you have there! It's a core stone. I thought it would work well as a nail file. What a clever thing you are! That's not even the best bit, look. I open the other fist to reveal my fantastic find. Oh my! What is that thing? It's a nail polish. I found it in the lab. I have no idea who it could belong to, and honestly, I don't like to think too much about it, but I figured I could borrow it for one short hour without anybody missing it. And it looks like just your color. I squint at the bottom of the bottle. It's called Desire. I raise my eyebrows at the Sphinx. Oh, nail polish, you say? Show me, human. She suddenly seems more interested. I thought I could try giving you a salon-style manicure, befitting a lady. Most sweet of you. Now, shall we sort the snacks and drinks first? Well, I came straight from work, so I didn't really... Oh, never mind. It won't take you more than a moment to fetch a coconut, and then we shall begin. I can't believe I'm actually doing her bidding. You have to hand it to her. The air of entitlement certainly gets her what she wants. Yes, I know that air of entitlement. Naki has the same thing around her. I'm back quickly and out of breath. Within minutes we settle into our session. Tell me if this feels at all uncomfortable, Snooch. I've never done this before, so guidance would be most helpful. It's surprisingly satisfying. I can't see why other cats might engage in a process of scratching at trees and rocks. I've always thought they were hunting for termites like that. Like little scavengers. Next foot. I've finished her hind legs and I'm on the front paw. On the final front paw. This stone works really well. Did I tell you how I cut it in the lab? I don't believe you did. So how does this nail polish work? Is it like a paint? I ignore her rudeness. Exactly. Paint it on and wait for it to dry. I've never painted someone's nails before, so this will be a new experience for both of us. I open the bottle and make the first stroke. Try to keep as still as possible. I think you find I am status quo in my stillness. Your hand is less so. I know, sorry. Your nails are just so tiny. I'm trying to color within the lines. What lines? Never mind, it's a human thing, I guess. I'm not sure if I care for the smell of this nail polish. Really? I can't quite like it. It reminds me of pear drops. A what? Oh, sorry, another human thing. Wow, look! Your paws look fantastic! The long, sleek talons are glinting shiny red in the sunlight. Oh my! I am spectacular! She extends her claws momentarily and presses them into my arm. Not enough to puncture the skin, but if I tried to move, it would hurt. For the first time, I appreciate what lethal weapons they could be. I must keep that in mind. So, come on then. I take out my catalog. Come on what? Pose for the camera. Oh goodness, I hadn't realized this was going to be a photographic session also. How exciting. Yes, well, I'm going to have to remove that varnish before I go, so I thought it would be nice for you to have a photo. Remove it? The Sphinx cat looks appalled. Whatever for? Oh, Snoot, I'm sorry, didn't I say? I can't leave it on you permanently. It would impede the natural retraction of your claws. Then I shall leave them extended. You can't do that. Her expression darkness. I beg your pardon. For a moment I heard you tell me what I can't do. Surely I was mistaken. Oh, remove compromise. Oh, let's compromise. No, Snoot, you heard me perfectly well. I must insist that you allow me to remove it. Insist? Her forehead wrinkles with her raised eyebrow. I tried to tread carefully here. Ask your permission. Please, may I remove the varnish now? But it simply does not make sense. Why do it in the first place? I know how much you enjoy things like pampering. I thought it would be a fun thing for us to share. You had fun, didn't you? Well, yes. But I certainly wouldn't have had I known you were simply going to taunt me. I wasn't doing it to taunt you, Boots. She seems genuinely upset. I'm sorry. There is an awkward little standoff. Her eyeing the rubbing alcohol. Me eyeing her claws. I rack my brains to think of a way to compromise with her. Perhaps if I tried appealing to her sense of style. I wonder if you'd like to try something. I don't know why it didn't. I wonder if you would like to try something. I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place, actually. I'm so forgetful sometimes. You're withering. Well, just before I came to the island, there was a craze sweeping in the fashion world. I can tell I've caught her attention. I read all about it in Bon Vivant magazine. Go on. It's a French thing, apparently. Snooty Booty cocks her head to the side. It's called, the Pinky Flick. Fletch Rosé. She's going for it. I feel encouraged. I'm thinking on my feet. All the celebrities are doing it. Doing what? Having their pinky nail painted while the other nails are left natural. Just one nail? She looks intrigued. Yes, it really does look so striking and à la mode. I don't know how to pronounce French. Show me. Bullseye. I go to take Snoot's paw in mine, but she snatches it away. No, show me. I pause, uncertain of what she means. Then the penny drops. She wants me to paint my own pinky nail with desire. Oh, gladly. I suppose I should have expected Snooty Booty to attempt to groom me at some point. Here goes. I swipe some of the bright red polish on my left pinky. What do you think? Looks à la mode, right? I hold my pinky finger to the corner of my mouth coiling. Well, I suppose it does look rather fetching. I'll make a deal with you, human. I will wear my nails à la mode if you promise to keep yours painted for the rest of your stay here. It's a deal. I doubt that such a tiny amount of varnish will cause her too much harm. It will come off naturally quite soon anyway. Mine, on the other hand, is going to be more permanent. I can't wait to explain this to Professor Pauper. Why would that be a thing? Or a problem? I don't know. Alright, do we have any more recon missions here? Still nothing, damn. Fine. Romance it is then. Be a dear, would you? Snooty Booty is in the habit now of holding out a limp, manicured paw for me to massage. I resignedly oblige. Oh, do you know, that reminds me. I have something for you. Something for me? Oh, look at you with your mouth agape. Do close it. You'll embarrass us both. I'm sorry. I just didn't expect you'd ever think of me when I'm not with you. You do make me laugh, human. Oh my, are you serious? Well, I'll have you know, I think of you a great deal. You are my most faithful subject, don't you know? Now, if you want your gift, carry me further down the beach and I'll show you where I hid it. Cradling the hairless cat like a baby, I stroll barefoot along the beach. Snooty Booty directs me with a wave of her paw every now and then. After a while, she loudly commands that I stop and put her down. Here, Snooty says with her regular level of enthusiasm, pointing a perfectly filed claw at the mound of sand. I buried it. I suppose you want me to dig it up then, eh, Boots? You always know what to say to make me laugh, human. It's quite a talent, I tell you. With a sigh, I start digging. Thankfully, she didn't bury it very deep, and after a few seconds, I find a small object wrapped in silk scarf. We wouldn't want sand getting into it, would we, dear? Snooty Booty says it with a small smile. I carefully open the flimsy silk bundle and turn the contents over in my hand. It's a little black tub with a plain label stuck to it that says Skin Cream P103. Do you love it? What is it? Oh dear, can you not read? Yes, it says skin cream, but I don't know exactly what that entails. Oh, you see, one massages skin cream into one's skin. Yes, I understand that, Boots, but whose is this? Where did you find it? Well, it's yours now, human. I roll my eyes and further inspect the tub. It's very small and plain, with no cosmetic logo or a name to be found. I pop open the plastic lid and sure enough, it's full to the brim with goop. I scoop out some with my index finger and smell it. It smells disgusting, like bean juice or something. Boots, I can't put this on my skin. I'll attract all sorts of bugs and wildlife. Oh, come now, we must suffer for our beauty, mustn't we? What is this in this stuff, Boots? Where did you get it from? All I ask is that you try some on your skin and tell me you don't see instant results. Oh, Snooty, have you been using this stuff? Of course. Without knowing where it came from? But I know exactly where it came from. Well then, please let me in on your secret. Oh, calm down, human. You'll give yourself more wrinkles. Let us take a moment to ponder how my generosity in giving you a thoughtful gift has developed into you interrogating me in such a brutish manner. I take a deep breath. Snooty Booty, I do apologize and thank you sincerely. Of course I am touched by your generosity and consideration. However, I am also quite concerned for your welfare. Did you take this thing from the lab? Oh no, not at all. Thank goodness. I took it from the stockpile behind the lab, where the fire pits are. You mean the incinerators? Snooty, did you take this from the toxic waste bins? I have no idea what they're called, but they routinely give forth the most incredible produce. Waste is indeed a fitting word. I think you'll find toxic the objective word in that title, Snoots. The contents of those bins are meant to be burned. But why are they burning skin cream? I further scrutinize the tub and conclude that it really is some kind of beauty product. This makes no sense. Actually, Princess, this is a fantastic present, and I'm going to take it right now for further examination. Thank you so much for this. Well, finally, a little gratitude. I am very grateful. Well, you can report back to me with how splendid you look after a few applications. Oh, I will. One thing though, Snooty. Just to be clear, have you been using this? But of course, I wouldn't recommend something without trying it myself first. And no problems. As you can see, human, my skin is as smooth and clear as porcelain. Yes, so why incinerate it? Speak up, human. You're mumbling. Nothing, Snooty. I just need your word that you will not use any more products that you find near the lab, okay? Oh, I see your game, human. You want to be the fairest of them all, eh? No, that's not it. Very well, human. I shall go au natural for a while, and you will see how, without even a touch of skin cream, I'm still as radiant as a star. Oh, okay, Snooty. Challenge accepted. Indeed. Ah, yes, new unlocks. Recon 16. Woohoo! Also, lovely graphics there. So, let's take that recon mission. Snooty Booty's gift. I'm worried about the skin cream Snooty found. I'd feel a lot better if I took some time to analyze it. Let's do that! If Snooty Booty found the skin cream out by the incinerator, that raises a lot of questions. Why are there cosmetics here in the first place? I decided to run some tests on it. Snooty Booty developed some nasty welts after using this cream. I want to see what it's made from. I have a feeling this is not something Professor would want me to be poking around in, so I've come to the lab late at night to make sure I don't get any unwanted attention. I'm quickly able to identify a number of common natural skincare ingredients like shea butter and chamomile, but there are some other components that I can't immediately identify. What else could be in this stuff? I run the sample through the database of organic compounds to see if there are any matches. There are. Cat urine. I had better not share that little discovery with Snooty Booty. I decided to check for any clues out by incinerators. Maybe I can find out a little more about where these things are coming from. At the back of the tent area are a couple of large pits that are for the disposal of harmful waste from the lab. There are nothing incinerating right now, so I can dig around a little in the smoldering ashes. I'm tentatively moving the debris out with a stick. So far it seems to be just soot and cinders, no clues. Suddenly the silence is disrupted by the sound of someone entering the lab. I make myself scarce by crawling around the far side of a nearby bush. As luck would have it, I happen to have ended up in an ideal vantage point to be able to see into the lab through the gap in the canvas. Two men enter with a large crate. I recognize them as the ferryman and his son. Professor Pauper is with them. He directs them to place the crate on the worktop. The professor reaches in and brings out a small tub that looks identical to the one Snooty Booty found. My guess is that this is the next batch in for testing. The professor stops what he's doing abruptly and looks at his catalog. I presume he's receiving a phone call. He dismisses the two men with a wave of his hand. As soon as they've gone, he turns his attention to the catalog. He looks anxious as he speaks. Yes, they've just been delivered. I shall make a start first thing in the morning, tomorrow morning. Yes, ma'am. I certainly will, ma'am. With all due respect, I do understand the urgency, but I'm sure you understand the need for thoroughness. I can assure you it will be ready for the deadline. The testing on sample 104 is going far more smoothly than 104. I can't speak today. Testing on sample 104 is going far more smoothly than 103. The improvements are very encouraging. There is a long silence. From the expression on his face, I imagine he's being lectured. It is very important to cross-check it with data here. The island itself has a significant effect on the samples. We still have some tests left to do. We are making progress, of course. I shall let you know straight away. The call ends abruptly. The presumably madam cut him off. He looks angrier than I've ever seen him. He marches out of the lab and heads off in the direction of his tent. I sneak away from the bushes and head back to my own tent. I can continue with my investigation another time. I've decided to catch up on some rest and relaxation like the professor keeps telling me to, so I've come down to the jetty where Zane usually sits. Today isn't a delivery day, and as I was hoping, he's nowhere in sight. I sit with my legs dangling over the edge and take out my sketchbook and pencils. I haven't done this in ages, so it's so peaceful. I can get lost in my own little world when I'm drawing. I tried doing a couple of landscapes, the mountain range in the distance, the trees of the forest, but nothing's really grabbing me. Then, as I'm daydreaming, staring into the water, I know the patterns that the ripples from the surface. They are unusual, I suppose because of the magnetic pole. The effect is beautiful. I end up sitting for over an hour just trying to capture it on my page. And so the last date with Snooty. The delicacy of a moment is sometimes only matched by the beauty of the moonlight's reflection on the sea. Snooty Booty turns her big shining silver eyes up to meet mine. Human, I have lived a long life, and only the first of 9, you know, don't you know? It has been much the same for us far back as my fragile memories reach. Seeing the moon reflected on the sea would once mean only that I had stayed awake too long, and that I shall see that same shade of grey reflected in the circles under my eyes the next day. However, seeing how you conduct yourself, human, with the grace of a drunken fruit fly, and yet the confidence of a red-bottomed mandrill, has left me quite inspired. You do not care one bit how you look. Fuck you, Snooty. I suddenly try to comb my hair with my fingers as Snooty Booty turns her attention back to the moon. I have found, since meeting you, that when one cares less about one's appearance, one finds the capacity to care more about other things. Is that so, Boots? Quite so, human, indeed. I have found it rather freeing to bathe in salt water, something which not long ago would have caused me to turn grey with anxiety. In the same vein, I feel I am owed some thanks for teaching you a thing or two about proper skincare. Snooty, your demand that I use night cream would cause me to break out in hives. But once they subsided, you were left with a very healthy glow. I sigh. Reetta? Yes, Snooty Booty. There is a poem I half remember. The words have become irrelevant, but the sentiment is so endearing that it is almost enough to cause me to weep at the thought of it. Music is also like that, don't you find? And smell. All of the senses, in fact, are the palette that colors our experiences and leaves an indelible mark on the soul. That's beautiful. Human, I believe you and I are both aesthetes. We're what now? We share an artist's appreciation of the séduisant. And again, what? Really, do try to keep up. I can't tell. I'm somewhat spoiling the mood here, so I keep my mouth shut and try to look engaged. I have suffered on this god-forsaken island from the lack of many things, but nothing has quite matched the pain of feeling alone. Not having a companion to share the more delicate sensibilities that life has to offer. An alluring scent, a vibrant hue, an Epicurean delight, all the subtle joys that are wasted on our more uncivilized cohabitants. It has been like air to my suffocation, sharing time with you, human. Aw, Snoots, thank you. I enjoy our time together too. And so, it flows on as though I am an interruption. I feel that together you and I might create something rather wonderful. Oh, a masterpiece. Oh, right, a masterpiece. Out of what? Of us, human. A union, a joining together of souls. I don't know. A marriage of hearts and minds. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Snooty? I am saying I am fond of you, enough to give me cause to believe that we may be able to commit to each other in a time-honored tradition of love, human. Oh, wow, I love you too. I do not feel the same way. I mean, this would obviously be the right answer, but I'm curious to see what happens if I... Oh dear, yeah. I'm amazed, and touched, and amazed. Snooty Booty, you are a remarkable cat, and I'm also very fond of you, but, time-honored commitment? I'm really not sure I can make that kind of... Ah, I see the problem. It's a class thing. Yes, I've considered it a hindrance myself, but was willing to overcome. But indeed, I do believe you are correct, human. You will never truly be my equal. As a friend, of course, but anything more would be quite ridiculous. I'm also glad I've made the situation clear, and I do hope you are not hurt by my rejection. Oh, well, I am, of course, disappointed, but I understand. Thank you, Snooty Booty, for breaking it to me so gently. We'll say no more about it, human. I am rather tired now, so if you'd be so kind as to carry me to some shade and fan me while I take my nap, I would be most appreciative. Of course, Boots. Aww. I wonder what would have happened if I'd said I love her too. So I guess this means I have to do the last research. Yes, I am ready. Today I'm off on a field trip of sorts with Professor. I can't wait to see what he's planning to show me. Professor Pauper told me to be ready early and dressed for hiking, as we are doing fieldwork this morning. I'm not sure that I have anything that would pass for hiking gear, to be honest. Some sturdy shoes would be good. Oh well, lab coat and trainees it is then, as usual. Trainers. A message from the professor lights up my catalog. Set to go, I'm waiting outside my tent. Ah, Reetta, are you ready for our fieldwork today? Yes, of course, Professor. May I ask where we are going? Somewhere I think you'll find very interesting. The professor hands me a backpack. Here, take this bag. It's very full but surprisingly light. Hopper has set off a brisk pace, calling back to me over his shoulder. This way! I run to catch him up. After some serious walking, with me struggling to keep up, the professor stops abruptly and listens. Do you hear that? There's a distant sound of bubbling water. We're almost there! We're almost there! Secretly, I'm relieved, as I don't think I could go much further. Just a little climbing. Climbing. I hide my dismay. Where does he get his energy from? It's just at the top there. It's not as difficult as a climb as it looks. We are in front of an almost vertical rock face. Just copy me. He clambers up expertly. I manage to find a spot that will support my foot and start the climb. I make little progress before slipping and falling flat on my bum. I try again. This time I take it slow. Again, I fall. What happened to the benefits of the catification the others keep going on about? The professor notices I'm having trouble and holds a hand out for me. I manage to climb up just enough to take a hold of him, and he lifts me the rest of the way. His strength is impressive. Curious, even. You're not a fan of climbing, eh? Can't say I've done much of it, Professor. Come along, then. I can get you there. He pretty much pulls me all the way to the top, and then leads me to the entrance of a small cave. The sound of running water is very loud now. I instantly see why. A natural spring has cut its way through the rock and created a beautiful cascade of sparkling clear water. It looks delicious. I kneel down without thinking and begin to drink it. It tastes amazing. As I come up for breath, I see the professor is looking at me with suspicion. You should know better. It's never wise, under any circumstances, to ingest something that is unproven. But here on this island, it would be prudent to exercise more caution than usual. I feel embarrassed at my lack of consideration. Yes, of course, sir. I wasn't thinking. I felt so thirsty and it looked so good. I do understand. Many have made the same error. Fortunately for you, this is tried and tested for safe consumption. It is good, don't you think? My body feels suddenly re-energized. I feel like I could climb any wall. It's incredible. I feel fantastic. What's in it? We don't know. That's why we're here. We need more samples. We've been studying this water for months now, and we still know very little about it. Check your bag. I open my bag. It's full to the brim with empty plastic bottles. We'll need to fill all of these with water. We're going to need as much as we can carry. I do as he says. By the time all the bottles are full and back in my bag, it weighs a ton. But I feel like I can lift anything. The effect of the water is powerful. The professor has also packed his own rucksack with bottles. That should do for now. Let's get these back. As we make our way down the rock face and back to camp, I have no problem keeping up with the professor. I feel like I could run all the way. However, as we get closer to home, I start to feel the effect wear off. My bag becomes unbearably heavy. The final limp into camp is torture. I need to rest. But now, do I just leave? I've left my bag packed back on the end of the jetty and have 10 minutes to find Snooty Booty to save my goodbyes. I have a pretty good idea where she'll be at this time of day, and I head to the shady spot of sand beneath the palm leaves. Are you asleep? She doesn't stir. I wanted to say goodbye. I'm going to miss you. No response. And I have a small gift for you. A slight stirring. It's not much, a little token really, but I thought I could drop some into your skin for the one last time. After that, maybe you can persuade the new assistant to help you with it, once you get to know them. Just leave it there. I can't be bothered with it right now. The new one will do it later. We're already firm friends. I know she's fibbing, but I respect the way she wants to play this out. Goodbye then, my lady. It's been a real privilege. Yes, I dare say it has. Maybe I'll be back before the winter. I have so much information about the sickness and possible cure that I can't see it taking longer than a few months to make a successful antidote, especially with all the expertise on the mainland. It may only take weeks. Don't tell fibs. It's most unbecoming, unless, of course, you master the art of dissembling in the way that I have. Now run along, or you'll miss your boat. Don't worry about me, I shall be far too busy to miss you. Not so clever at dissembling as she'd like to think. Joe is waiting on the jetty, holding my bag. You're late. Only a minute, Joe. You hardly look like a cat that got the cream. And he begins his annoying laughter. Within minutes we are out at sea. I'm looking back at my beautiful little island disappearing into the distance, and my heart stirs. You wish you were staying? I think I do, Joe. I'll miss it. And them? The cats? Of course, mostly the cats. I made some really good friends amongst them. Dad! As soon as he shouts, the engine... Oh shit, now I skipped that. What? This one no good, son. What? Shit! I skipped an important part of dialogue. No, Dad. This one's no good. This one's got the cat's whiskers. He begins to laugh again and my stomach flips. What's going on? You go to the helm, boy. Leave this to me. Need a hand with it, Dad? No, I can manage. You steer the boat. I am rigid with fear as I realize they're referring to me. Do we have some kind of problem here, Bob? Not for me. It's not personal, you know. It's just we can't risk it getting to the mainland. It's my job to contain it. Then Bob takes some kind of pistol from his jacket pocket and points it at me. Okay, an ending achieved. Oh. 9.1% of total games seen, one ending from... What? Friction. Successful dates, it's complicated with... Okay, how about I continue? Ah, okay, so I will eventually go with... I go through all of them, so... That is interesting. But I think I'm going to leave this episode of Purrfect Date right here and... Well, okay, let's random generate a name for them. Joan. Yeah, sure. And... yeah, come back to the chapter 2. Oh, this was a longer game than I expected it to be. Okay, as the starting dialogue looks a lot like the same, I thought it was probably a way of saying no thanks, but I put it out of my mind. Ah, you got from the... well... So, imagine my surprise when sometime later I got a call from saying there was an opening for me. I should still be interested. I have a sudden pang of nerves that it's all a dream and rummage through my bag until I find proof that puts my mind at ease. Dear John, pleased to be able to offer you. It will be an initial period of 8 weeks. Your contract will be sent separately. Yes, no mistake, that is my name right there. Jean. Ferryman comes out. Won't be back for months. Thanks, Skipper. Totally ignores me. Yeah, this is all the same. That's in the beginning. ID card, of course. So yeah, I guess I only got through the chapter 1 and will be going through all of the research assistants. I wonder what happened to the first character. Somehow they shot them, but well, anyway, I'm gonna leave this here. There is so much more to Cat Island than it initially seemed, so we'll be continuing this game for a little while longer at least. Thank you so much for watching this. If you liked it, let me know. And yeah, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.